AITA for letting my friend's daughter live in our rental property rent-free without asking my friend's permission first. When my mother passed away 15 years ago, I inherited her home. The house is smaller than my own, so my husband and I decided to rent it out. Since the house was already paid off, we were making a decent profit from it. Here's some background on the important people in this story. My husband and I have been close friends with Sam and George since college. All of us have kids around the same ages, and they've grown up being good friends. The three relevant kids here are our son Henry, 24, Sam's son Kyle, 23, and George's daughter Anne Marie, 24. Henry and Kyle are both in grad school and working part-time. Anne Marie recently finished grad school this past spring and started her first full-time big girl job, as she calls it. Originally, the three of them were sharing an apartment in a rough part of town. My husband and I didn't love the idea of them living there, but they wanted to be independent and live on their own. Unfortunately, that was all they could afford at the time. After a couple of concerning incidents happened in their apartment building, I came to the kids with an offer. I told them that if they agreed to cover the bills for our rental property, we wouldn't charge them rent, and they could live there instead. This meant we wouldn't be making a profit on the property anymore, but my husband and I were okay with sacrificing that if it meant the kids had a safe place to live. The kids were completely on board and expressed their gratitude. To me, it seemed like the perfect solution, and since all three of them are adults, I didn't think to ask their parents for input first. Sam and his wife were totally fine with this arrangement. However, George wasn't happy. George told me that one of the reasons Anne Marie moved out was because he had planned to start charging her rent to teach her responsibility. Apparently, she decided that if she had to pay rent, she might as well have her own space. I pointed out to George that Anne Marie would still be responsible for bills, which the three of them are splitting evenly. It's just the rent they wouldn't have to pay. George still feels like this setup is spoiling the kids, though, and he's upset with me. He even asked me to tell Anne Marie she couldn't live there anymore. I stood firm and told him that I wasn't going to backtrack on this deal because it wouldn't be fair to her or the others. My husband Sam and Sam's wife all support me, though my husband did express that maybe we should have talked to George first. I personally think that's ridiculous because Anne Marie is an adult. This is our property, and we have the right to do what we want with it. Still, I'm wondering if I was wrong for offering Anne Marie a spot in our rental house without checking with George first. AITA, discuss in the comments section below, and I'll pin the most upvoted comment. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to hear more stories animated and read by AI.